February 24th, 2011. I watched episode 5, which had a few differences from the first 4 episodes. Firstly, it had Happy on a rustless, but still bent, stick. Secondly, this episode was somewhat disturbing. The theme song played, and the name of the episode is revealed as Monkey Bar Mishap. It started with Appy in his van driving to the playground when he sees a kid crying near some monkey bars. Once he parks the van and goes to the monkey bars, Happy finds out that the kid had fallen off of them, cutting his little finger open. Appy said, "What does Jake need to heal with, kids?" He gave off his evil smile at the screen for a couple of minutes, enough time to read a page of a book, preferably the Bible, to him. Like Nate needs help, his soulless, baby blue eyes watched over anyone in the room like Big Brother. He said, "That's right," and Happy puts a bandage on Jake's finger. After getting hugged by Jake, Happy drives away in his van. It skipped to episode 6, which had a better chance of being aired on Wonder Chosen than Nick Jr. In the episode called Never Run with Knives, a kid was running with a knife facing up. The knife was clearly a rubber prop because the blade was flopping around a lot. The kid got cut and held his hand over the wound, crying, as blood began to come out of the kid's wound. Happy parked his van, gave a normal smile, and said, "Hey kids, he shouldn't have carried that knife facing up while running." However, he did heal him by putting a bandage over the wound. The kid hugged Happy, and he said, "Remember kids, never run with knives facing up, or scissors for that matter. Always walk with knives and scissors facing down." Happy took the kid to his van, drives off, and the credits played. However, after the credits roll, the episode takes a very disturbing turn when Happy comes back in his van. The kid is missing and says, "Hey kids, if you find me and my van, just talk to me and I'll take you away." Episode 7 began with Happy on the playground, but he wasn't playing with the kids or helping them. He was just staring at them, with that unsettling smile I hate so much. A group of kids were playing with jump ropes when Happy walks over to them. He calmly tells them something, but I could barely hear what he said. From what I heard, I could only make out, "Hello, Happy. How, me, please?" I could see where this was going, as the kids walk with Happy into the bushes of the playground. Loud, violent screams are heard for almost a minute and a half, until Happy begins to drag 3 bloody bodies to his van. I couldn't believe it. For the rest of the episode, he does that damn death smile. Why did they use that look so much? It was almost like he could climb out of your TV, grab you and murder you slowly and painfully with a rusty knife. But he couldn't. I moved on to episode 8 and 9. This time the episodes were so violent and shoddy that they couldn't have aired on Noggin at all. Episode 8 had Appy take a kid into his van. For half of the episode, flesh cutting could be heard, and so could loud screaming, which turned into gurgles. As the scene progressed, blood splatters on the windows began to appear. Eventually, Happy emerged from the van, and did a death smile until the end of the show. Like episode 8, episode 9 was gory and violent. But this episode was so coincidental and violent that I couldn't believe Noggin would even allow it, unless it was some sort of hijacking. It starts out with Appy walking around the playground when 2 kids ask him what the cycle of life is, so that they could complete their homework. He proceeds to tell the kids about the cycle of life in frogs and plants. The kids said, "Thanks, Happy, can you play with us for a bit?" Happy agrees, and they start playing on the playground. When this happens, smoke starts to creep behind Happy and the children. It gets to a point where they start coughing because of how dense the smoke is, so they turn around to see what was making the smoke. Happy gasps at the sight in front of them. 2 towers were on fire and were burning up. A few people were falling out of the windows to escape the fire. There was a lot of screaming, falling debris, and a crashed airplane in one of the towers. Only the tail of the plane was visible, which was nearing the point of collapse. I could hear a faint whining noise at this point, and I think that it was the plane's engines, which was probably still on. 7 seconds later, the tail of the plane finally broke apart, with the largest piece of the tail hitting and killing someone. During the scene, fire trucks could be heard trying to douse out the flames, but it only slows the flames down. The wailing of ambulances could be heard, taking away the bodies of the people who jumped from the towers. It showed a weird guy on fire falling out of one of the towers, screaming. Happy and the kids are seen again, but this time they stood still in fear. The smoke kept getting thicker and thicker, slowly obscuring the trees and equipment of the playground. The debris from the towers fell around the kids and Happy, and a person ran up to them and told them to run away from the towers before running off. When the older kid worriedly said, "Happy Appy, why are the towers on fire?" it cuts to a higher up floor that was near where the plane crashed, which revealed a kid that was under a huge piece of concrete, crying for help. Some other kids tried to help them by lifting the piece of concrete off him. He was screaming so loud it was almost heartbreaking. There were bodies and blood everywhere, and the pain and fear on the trapped kid's face was so realistic I cringed. After the shot with the kid trapped under the concrete, the younger kid turns to the side and says, "Happy Appy, why are people running and falling from the towers?" Happy Appy turns to the camera, death's smile on his face, and very coldly he said 3 words. Those 3 words will haunt me as long as I research this show. That's natural, children. He took the 2 kids away from the towers, leaving the kid stuck under concrete screaming for help. When the credits rolled, the audio of the scene kept playing. And at the end, before the video cuts out, something collapsed, making a very loud noise that could scare anyone watching. I jumped out of my seat. Was Happy a Deathbringer in the form of an apple? Or was he a master predictor? If that episode somehow predicted 9/11, I have to watch episodes 10 and 11 to see if there are anything else predicted. I might not see any predictions though, and honestly, I hope not. Oh. And you want to know what happens when someone calls the tsunami aid phone number? Tomorrow I'm going to go call it. February 25th, 2011. Hey, I called the 1-800 hotline mentioned on episode 3. It was a pre-recording, which I will transcribe to you. Hello, my name is Happy Appy, and I am every kid's most helpful and favorite apple. If you want to make a donation, press 1. If you want to know about the earthquake, press 2. When I pressed 2, the hotline said this: An earthquake and tsunami has recently hit Japan, and we need all the help we can get. If you can make a donation of $1, $2, $5, $10, $20, $50, or $100, you will be a big help. Anyone who donates gets a Happy Appy badge. So I went ahead and donated $1 to the donation for the fun of it by using an outdated bank account that I never used. It responded, "Thank you for helping with the aid for the tsunami. Look in your mailbox in a week from now because you'll get your Happy Appy badge." I'm wondering what earthquake Happy predicted. Between 1999 and the current day, there are no 9.0 earthquakes in Japan. Since the 2003 Hokkaido earthquakes was pretty close to when the episode was released, as well as the magnitude mentioned in the radio broadcast. I guess he was predicting about that.